everyone. Welcome. Thanks for tuning in. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Michelle and I am a registered dietitian with Fit Kids 360. I love talking about food and nutrition, so I'm really excited to be bringing videos over the next few weeks about different nutrition topics. Today we're going to get started with snacking, because I thought that was a good place to start, and I know that can be difficult, especially when we're at home more. But first I wanted to start by saying that I am so proud of all of you that are tuning in. This is a very difficult time, so the fact that you guys are making a point to still be healthy and make changes and really focus on using this time to do that as a family, I think that is super important. So I'm really proud of everyone that is tuning in. All right, so let's get started. So the first thing we're going to talk about is just a quick overview on what is snacking and is snacking healthy. So the quick answer is yes, snacking is healthy, and it can be a very healthy part of your diet. It's just about making the right decisions. So typically we want to snack either in between meals or maybe in the evening before we go to bed. But the purpose of a snack is to kind of hold us over until our next meal. So it's just to keep us satisfied. We don't want too much food to fill us up, because that's going to ruin our appetite. So snacks usually consist of 2 food groups. This is a great way to get fruits and vegetables in throughout your day, also whole grains and dairy. So we'll talk about more about different healthy snacks towards the end. One thing when we're working on healthy lifestyle changes, especially when we're at home more often, we really want to make sure that we have a routine to our day. So that's not saying that we have a strict schedule where everything is planned out by the hour, but we do want to have a routine on when we wake up, when we go to bed, typical meal times and typical snack times. Because if we don't have a routine, it's going to be really hard to plan out our snacks appropriately, right? So we want a snack in between our meals, and preferably no closer than within 2 hours from a meal. So if we're eating a snack an hour before your meal, you might not be hungry. It's going to ruin your appetite. And if you don't have any type of routine or schedule, you might have a snack and then realize, oh, it's time for dinner, and you've eaten too close to a meal. And this goes for parents and kids. So in Fit Kids, we talk a lot about parents. You guys are the role models. So, kids are going to follow your lead and they're going to do what you do. So you want to make sure that you are sticking with your routine and having healthy snacking habits, and then the kids are more likely to do that as well. Mindful snacking is going to be one of the most important things we talk about today. So that means we want to be aware of what and why we're eating. So we don't want to just eat because we feel like it, or when we do snack, we don't want to overeat because we're not paying attention. So this might look like you decide you want to have a snack and you go to the cupboard, you take out a box of crackers, you go to the couch and watch TV, and before you know it, you've eaten your way through the whole box. And that's really easy to do if we're not paying attention. So really make sure we're watching our portion sizes, which means looking at the nutrition facts label, looking at what the portion size is or serving size is for that particular snack, and making sure we're measuring it out appropriately, and then putting the container back. So we never want to eat out of a box or a bag. We always want to measure it, put it away, and eat our snacks and meals at the table. So we don't want to be in front of the TV. We don't want to be distracted. We really want to be present while we're eating. And it also does take about 20 minutes for your stomach to send signals to your brain that we're full. So if you are snacking too fast or eating meals too fast, those signals aren't going to be able to get there by the time you're done eating. You might feel like you're still hungry, but if you take your time, you wait a little longer, you might realize, you're satisfied and that was enough food. You're just eating too fast. So we also want to listen to our hunger and fullness cues when we are choosing whether or not it's a good time to have a snack, because just because it might be the right time to snack where, it's between a meal. So that's when you typically have a snack, but maybe you're actually not hungry. So we don't want to snack for no reason, So we want to ask ourselves a couple questions. We want to think about, are we actually hungry? And then some of the other questions we'll talk about next, but are we hungry? So we want to use the hunger and fullness scale. So it's a scale of 1 to 10. So 1 being extremely hungry, we feel sick, we might be dizzy, feel weak. And then 10 being like Thanksgiving dinner where we are full, we feel like we might puke, we're tired. So we don't want to be on those, opposite ends of the spectrum. We want to stay in the middle between about a 4 and a 7 where we feel satisfied. And then with a snack, we want to, feel a little bit hungry. So we're more like a 3 or a 4, get ourselves up to a 5 or a 6, but we want to make sure that, we're just satisfying ourselves until the next meal. Emotional eating is going to be our next topic, and this is probably the most important thing that we're going to talk about today, because this is a really stressful time, and for a lot of reasons. There's a lot going on in the world, a lot of changes that are happening, and we want to make sure that we're not using food as comfort. We want to be able to work through our emotions in a healthy way, which I know Nikita, our social worker, is going to be putting out a ton of great videos for you guys. So I'm just going to touch on the food part, but we want to make sure, like I said, that we're not eating for comfort. We're not eating to, feel better. We want to really work on really working through those emotions. I want you guys to think for just a minute about a time in the last week where you ate and it was, not because you were hungry. It's like we said, snacking can be very healthy if it's at the right time and you're making the right food choices. I want you to think of a time where you were eating and it wasn't the right time, or it wasn't because you're hungry. All right, so we're going to talk about some of the emotions that may cause us to want to eat. So we're going to talk about ways that we can come up with a plan, so when we do feel those emotions in the future, we can handle them in a healthy way and make sure it's not, using food for comfort. All right, so we're gonna think of some emotions that might lead us to eating for comfort, and then we're gonna talk about some ways that, we can handle that in a healthy way and not use food as comfort. So it might be because we are sad, we might be missing friends and family, worried about a number of things, and we're using food as comfort. So one of the most important things is find somebody that you can talk to, whether it be a parent, a sibling, another family member, a friend. Really getting your emotions out and talking about it. If you don't have anyone to talk to, please let us know. Maybe you don't feel like talking to somebody, so there's other ways. You could journal, write down your feelings. Maybe you don't feel like you can tell your emotions to somebody. Maybe write them down and let them read your emotions, or if you want to keep it private, that's totally fine too. But sometimes just writing them out and just getting them out of your body can really help reduce your stress and your worry. You could write a poem, write song lyrics, listen to music that kind of helps you feel that emotion out. Or you could also put on really happy music and have a dance party and just kind of shake and dance out all that stress and worry. Exercise. When we're exercising, we're releasing endorphins, and that alone can make us feel a lot happier. Some other reasons are, maybe you're angry, you really want to see your friends and family and you're not able to right now. And again, all these things I just talked about can be helpful for that as well. So talking to somebody, writing it down, dancing it out, exercising, all of these things can help you process the emotions. Another emotion could be being bored, feeling like you don't have anything to do. We've been at home for a while now, and it might feel, there might be times where you feel like you're getting bored. You really want to go play with your friends. You want to go to the movies. You want to do all these things that you've been used to doing. But this is a great time to take advantage of doing all the things you felt like you never had time to do, as long as they're within the social distancing and stay at home restrictions. So making a list of all the activities that you feel like you wanted to do. So maybe you wanted to write a song, maybe you wanted to practice singing, maybe you wanted to learn a new language. There's all sorts of different things. Practice drawing, playing games. And even if you can't go to your friend's house and play a game or hang out with them, this is a great way to take advantage of technology. We don't want to get in the habit of watching too much TV or sitting on our phones while we're at home, but using our phones to play games with your friends. So it is important to have social interaction, and if we can't physically be with them, using technology to help connect us is a really good thing right now. So finding games that you can play, or just hanging out over video chat can be a good option. Write down a list of all the things that you can do at home that you've always wanted to do but you haven't had time for, so that when if it does happen, when you feel like you're bored, you're not really sure what to do, you can refer back to that list and give you some ideas. A couple other things to ask yourself too when you're thinking about having a snack is, am I thirsty? So making sure you're getting enough water, 8 ounces a day. Trying to avoid the sugary beverages. Low-fat milk would be a good option too, but trying to stay hydrated, because that can, if you're not hydrated enough, that could also make you hungry. And then getting enough sleep. So kind of going back to routine. We also want to have a wake-up time and a bedtime, so make sure that we're getting enough sleep, because if you're not getting enough sleep, that can also cause craving. So we've talked about how to figure out if it's a good time to snack and if we're actually hungry enough to snack. So next we're going to talk about actually picking that snack. What is a healthy snack? So we want to make sure when we're picking a snack that we have a snack with 2 food groups. There's fruits, vegetables, protein, whole grains, and dairy. So we want at least one of those choices to be a protein, because that's going to help keep us full till our next meal. Some examples of protein are nuts and seeds, dairy like cheese or yogurt, beans in maybe some type of dip, and you could even use low sodium turkey lunch meat and make a little roll up. So there's a lot of different options, but we do want one of those choices to be protein. And then this is a great way to get your servings of fruits, vegetables, whole grains in as well. So some good options for healthy snacks could be a trail mix, which is a great option to make ahead so it's ready when it's time for a snack. So some examples of some things you could put in a trail mix for protein and fat. You have sunflower seeds. You can put in pumpkin seeds, banana chips for some fruit. You can put dried cranberries or raisins. You could do cereal like Cheerios or some Goldfish, and you want to have a good variety of all of that. You don't want too much of one thing. And then you can also, we want to make healthy choices with snacking, but that doesn't mean that we can't ever, have anything indulgent for a snack. So you could also add a small amount of chocolate chips. So we don't want that to be the base of the trail mix, but if you add a little bit in for flavor, just to get a taste of that chocolate, that's okay. Some other healthy snack options are making your own smoothie with Greek yogurt and milk and frozen fruit. You could even add kale or spinach to add some greens in there. I've been doing a lot of cottage cheese and canned peaches. You could do a turkey and cheese roll-up. You could do peanut butter and apples or peanut butter and celery, baked chips with salsa, and you could add beans or corn or different vegetables to the salsa to make it even healthier. You could do vegetables and a healthy dip made from plain Greek yogurt or sour cream. So I'm going to put a link below with a bunch of different recipes and ideas for healthy snack options. So I want you guys to go through that and make a list of different things you think your family would like for a snack. So that way, when you're ready to go grocery shopping, you already have the ideas there. And we want to make sure that we're planning ahead. So when you go grocery shopping, you're getting all the food that you need, since we might not be able to go grocery shopping as often, or some things might not be available right now. So making sure you have a list of what you need. Another way to plan ahead is to have food already prepared. So having fruits and vegetables already chopped and ready to go, or having the trail mix, like I said, already made and ready to portion out. And I'd recommend no more than about a quarter cup for trail mix, because it is very calorie and nutrient dense. Or even having it portioned out into little baggies or little Tupperware, because a lot of times it's easy to just grab the easiest thing for a snack. Sometimes we don't have time to actually cut things up and prepare it. We want to just grab it and be able to eat it. So having those things already chopped up, already portioned out, can save you time and make sure you're making the right choices. So that's it for the first video. I hope it was helpful. If you have any questions, please comment below. And if there's any information you'd like me to provide on future videos, or any topics you'd like me to cover, please let me know, so that I can make sure I tailor it to exactly what you need and the information you'd like to hear about. Hope everyone is doing well and staying healthy, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.